Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good, y'all? What's good? Triple threat talk. It's a duo right now. I say our man P is he's ducking smoke from me because I've been on the SGA train for a little minute. And the MVP today showed why he's the MVP. Oh my gosh, 38 points, 12 for 21, 13, 15 from the free throw line. Man, oh man, the Thunder dominated the Timberwolves again. 118, 103. They are 2 games away. 2 games away from the NBA Finals. We'll talk about the Knicks. And it's the title says the Knicks collapse, but I won't be as harsh. I do believe the Pacers, they did win that more than the Knicks collapsed, in my opinion. But we first got to start, and he might disagree, but we first got to start. Kobe in the building. Shout out Kobe. He just got a position, and I'm gonna just let him say it. About it. Hey, tell the people because we only bring heavy hitters. Come on.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, we always had league dreams. Always wanted to be in the league and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We ain't quite make it on the field, but we in the field. You know what I'm saying? We ain't quite make it on the field, but we in the field. I'm a training camp reporter this summer for, the Washington Commanders. I guess I'll chill on the JD hate for now. You know what I'm saying?
That deep ball,
Oh,
huh?
that deep ball, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, it's a dream come true to work with the NFL. Um, Obviously, this not the first time we didn't work with the NFL, but it's the first time we really like, what I'm saying, we really locked in for real. So, yeah, that's cool. But yeah,
That's what's up. Everybody show him love. Follow him on the gram, do all that stuff. Get to this game right now. SGA, man. I'm at a loss for words. I mean, I found myself. I've been a big Ant fan. I still am. I still am. He still is my favorite player in the game. But I've actually found myself rooting for SGA a little bit more this series just because I feel like the discourse is getting nasty with the free throw merchant stuff. And I've seen what Jalen Brunson has done. And it might be a little bit biased because I've seen what he did last season when he'll drive past somebody, flick his head back. But they don't talk about that. But in SGA, and you look, bro, like James Harden, Trey Young, it's an art to it, but you still gotta earn it. Like, and that was my problem with the Celtics. It's like Tatum, Jalen Brown, y'all so athletic, they can't stop y'all. So you're letting the defense off the hook by settling, drive to the basket. So we can't say drive to the basket, someone drives to the basket, and then it's, oh, well, they're foul baiting. That's what the thing is. Like, what you about to do? Like, just not try to get a foul or not try to initiate contact when you get to the hole. That's the whole point of doing that. So I found myself rooting for SGA. I think he deserved the MVP. 68 wins for the Thunder, led the league in scoring. He's having an all-time great year for a guard. And it's not just him. It's a full team effort. This is a dominant defense. Case on Wallace, I'm going to just talk about him real quick before I pass it to you, Kobe. I think in that third quarter, he was instrumental. Several clutch threes. I mean, you talk about a guy that is a hellacious defender at 21 years old. And my last point, actually, Howie Roseman and Sam Presti are like very, very similar, especially if the Thunder win the championship. Very, very similar. because what Sam Presti has done in the draft is some all-time great stuff. Like I said it the last time Kobe and P were on the pod for triple threat, and I said that this Thunder team is literally a younger Celtics, and they're on pace to do exactly what the Celtics did either last year or in 2022. Now they're obviously the prohibitive favorite, but when you got Cason Wallace, trade for Caruso, basically flip Josh Giddey, who wasn't giving you nothing in the postseason, get Caruso, who is a championship type of role player guy, get Hardenstein from the Knicks, draft Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, you get SGA, flip that from the whole Paul George thing. So I mean, like, this was really a masterclass from SGA, a masterclass from Sam Presti, a masterclass from the Thunder as a whole. And that's my thoughts on it. And we can talk about the Thunder, but I want to just lead off with the we can talk about the Wolves, but I want to lead off with the Thunder first.
Yeah, I ain't been the biggest SGA fan. Um, no real reason behind it. I just always wanted him to see. I always, people. The whole thing about him was is people would be like, he showed up. He was the only one that showed up. His team didn't show up. Some of the greatest players that we've seen that we've put in that upper echelon, their teammates showed up with them. They were able to bring the best out of their teammates per se. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, last year was the Thunder's like first real run at it. And this year they've been just they as a collective they've been nasty. So to see them continue to get to where they want to go has been amazing. I'll say this though. The thing that impressed me everything that Shea has done this year, the thing that impressed me most was honestly tonight because you get the MVP award. You have the MVP conference or whatever yesterday. You go out late last night. You drop your new shoe line dedicated to your wife or whatever. Um, the national spotlight, if wasn't already on you, is already on you even greater times 10 than it was prior to last night. So between this past series against Denver and now today, like I think that's been for me, that's been the most impressive time to see SGA shine, really. So you go and you win it, and then you had a ceremony the day before the game, and then you go out there tonight and you give them 38, 12 for 21, bunch of assists, you know what I'm saying? Some rebounds in there too. I think that's more impressive than anything. The moment has never seemed too big for him. The same way that we didn't think the moment was ever too big for Ant. And obviously we'll get to the Wolves, but like the same way we never thought the moment was too big for Ant, the moment is never too big for SGA. And I think that's more important than just about anything else. And for me, it was the thing that I love to see most was just his ability to show up, not in the face of adversity, but in the face of like, yeah, bro, we trying to see you just won the MVP award. Them few people that wasn't already watching, they watching now too. They turning on the joint tonight to see what you gonna do. Cause everybody that was trolling that's on the hate train want to say something. So they waiting on you to have a bad flop game, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you ain't give it to them. So
He literally went on a solo run to end the first half. It was ridiculous. 2 points, two, that's six, that's nine. So in the last 4 minutes of the second half, this guy had 11 points. 11 points. And when you talk about like momentum and stuff, shifting into the second half, I mean, Shay's solo run to end the first half was the most impressive thing that I saw because that tilted the game. Now, when you look at it and the Thunder are up by what, like eight some points, instead of it be maybe a 3-point game, a 2-point game, that's huge. That's huge. And I've the Thunder remind me in the third quarter specifically of them Warriors teams that just put on a avalanche in the third quarter. And when they start rolling, you can't stop it. You flat out can't stop it. And so that's exactly what it is. My whole thing with the Thunder was I knew what SGA was going to do. I agree with you that this game is impressive because of all the chatter, because of all the talk.
Well, I think it's this game, but I think it's the previous series too. That series against Jokic in Denver to get to this moment, and then you get to this moment, and you still like, hey, ain't nothing stopping y'all. Ain't changed nothing. All it's one of them things like all they did was validate what he already knew. Like he already knew who he was. He comfortable. He good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this feel like a bear with me. Like never mind, never mind. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't even gonna say that. I ain't even gonna say that.
But like that's how I felt. And I wish, and we gonna talk about it again, like either if Pete come later on or like next time we record, it's like I haven't seen SGA shrink in the playoffs. Like I saw against the Mavericks that he was balling out and J Dub and Chet didn't match him. We see this game, J Dub goes crazy, he matches him, and Chet shows you, you know, something that he don't really show. Like he gonna give you between like the 9 to like 14 points. He'll give you that. He'll give you that. Now, if Chet give you 20 plus, oh, that's a bonus right there. And so when you got Shea playing at that level and you got his co-stars or this number 2 and number 3 guys on the squad also showing up, I mean, you at their mercy and you got that defense. I mean, it is lights out. Mind you, bro, this is my last thing on OKC. They won by 15 points. We know that it was they won by 15. It was really bigger than 15 points, but they shot 27% from 3. 27%. So it's like they don't live and die by a 3. And it's not like they hell bent on, well, if we hit our 3-point shots, we good. If we don't, we screwed. That's the issue with the Celtics. It's like if y'all don't hit y'all shots, then now y'all at a deficit, and they way too good to be doing that. So OKC is showing just how it's supposed to be done. Now, one of my friends, he said this about Ant, and I would love to get your thoughts on this. I'm gonna read his text. And y'all know I'm an Ant fan. And I'm an Ant fan. He says Ant defers too much when they're down. He's a front runner, bro. I mean, like,
I don't want to call him a front runner per se, but I will say the boy look a whole lot different when teams don't quite match his team very well. Listen, I know we calling him the OG Slayer, the Legend Slayer, the whatever they calling him out there in the streets these days. Understandably so, because when your idols become your rivals and you get the opportunity to knock them off and you knocking them down like adequately with no struggle, I get it. At the same time, my biggest problem has become like you can be the OG Slayer if you 5 years late to the party, but when it's time to play against your peers who's still in their proms, well, it don't look quite the same. You know what I'm saying? Like and we know, and we know that my other thing is like we know the deficiencies that these OG teams are having. Like we know the deficiencies that the Lakers had this year. We know the deficiencies that KD and them boys had last year. We like, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, like the Lakers didn't have no chance. The Suns didn't have no chance last year. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like these teams were just like nobody ever actually believed in them. But what I will say is there were very clear flaws for each of those teams, and they were able to exploit those flaws. And and kudos to him for being able to exploit those flaws. But when it comes to his peers, he ain't too much getting it done. He ain't too much getting it done. Now he beat the Nuggets last year. He beat the Nuggets last year and route to the Western Conference Finals. But then who everybody got something to say about Luca now. But Luca got him knocked off last year. You know what I'm saying? Luca got him knocked off last year, and he said, "Oh, I was tired." He said he was tired. That I mean, hey, that's
Yeah.
cool. You know what I'm saying? It just looks different when it come to his peers, and I don't like that. I don't like that because it's like it's really showing me how old my OGs actually are. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's showing me how old they actually are. Like I didn't know how old they was, so they went out there and started trying to mess with Ant. Then I was like, damn, they're a little older than I thought they was because 5-6 years ago, Brown would have swept the floor with this young boy. You know what I'm saying? So it's showing me how old Bron actually is now that where the flaw and KD too, to where the flaws of their teams, they no longer are young and spry enough to cover up the flaws of their teams to where some of these young boys can actually come out there and get the job done now. So I don't know if he's a front runner, but I don't know if he's a front runner or if he's just not quite or if he and his team are not quite on the level of his peers yet.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of things like Ant's at a point where like his team has to match up extremely well and they'll be good. But like with the all-time greats, like and obviously Ant got time, all that. And again, I'm a big Ant fan, all that. But with the all-time greats, it'll be like, hell, we don't match up that well, but we got that guy that's gonna get us over the hump. We got that guy. When you talk about when they beat, and I'll give you know, and I'll say I was flat out wrong about the Wolves beating the Lakers. I thought the Lakers would win. I did not believe in Julius Randle. Julius Randle, now he had a terrible night today, but for the most part, he's a top 5 player this postseason. Like he's having amazing playoffs, and outside of today was shifting the narrative on him being a postseason player. Even like when they played the Nuggets last year, the Wolves GM constructed a team with a front court to match up against Yoke. Like that was their whole thing. We can match up against Yoke. Then they play the Mavericks, who's more, they got kind of both in a little bit. They don't have the size as much as to the level of the degree that Wolves had, but they made up for it with their perimeter. And they still had a good front court, but it's not as formidable. And then we saw Kyrie do what he did. And so I definitely believe like this gonna be on Ant. Like if they get swept out this John, like it's gonna be on Ant because it's be like, yo, like you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Because before this series, it was guys like P talking about some Ant way over Shai, like way over him. I don't even think you could even say Ant is over Shai. But like if somebody want to say, all right, I think both ways or potential or something like that, I could be like, all right, I don't agree, but all right, it's not insane. But the way that Shea playing with this team, And we can just clearly see just this OKC team defensively. What the Wolves got to do is hit them corner threes. And I'll give Ant credit. He was finding some guys. The Wolves just weren't shooting the ball well. And if y'all shooting the ball 28% from the 3-point line, that's just not going to get it done. So I think that I had OKC in 6. I'm looking at 5 right now. I think that we have clearly seen that there's a new level that the Thunder are on that simply the Wolves ain't on right now. Uh yeah, it's pretty much what I got for the I do want to get to the next game though. Next game. And it's a
Bro,
couple
as
of
a
things.
team, this is a problem, bro. As a team, the Thunder only had 6 turnovers tonight, bro.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I mean, he- and the craziest part is we thought that the Timberwolves were a formidable defensive team as well. You can't win like that, bro. If you got 20 turnovers and the team that you playing against only got 6, you're not gonna win. You can't win. You can't win.
Yeah. You can't. And that's what and the Pacers are really good at not turning over the ball too. And what the Thunder do, they don't turn over the ball and they get steals. So it's like, bruh, because when they get in transition, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's like it's just flat out over. Somebody said Randall played terrible. Here's my thing: like, all right, Randall, he played bad today, but like, all right, game 1, he was on fire. Ant didn't match him. He ain't match him. And you looking at the best player to be the guy to deliver. Now I'll give OKC credit. They're making Ant work for every bucket. Every bucket. Like, and a lot of times he's selling for threes because he literally can't drive to the hoop. And if he
I
drives to
mean,
the hoop,
but
he
but
gotta kick
but
out.
but 1 for 9 not gonna cut it either though. And and so here's my problem. Here's my problem with Ant. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I feel like Ant just be out there just doing shit just because he said something was wrong the previous game. So he was in sorry, Pop. He was in the he was in the he was in the press conference and he got fined. Same way MJ gonna fine me for cussing just now. He was in a press conference and he got fined for only putting up like 13 shots. So then he come out this game and put up 26. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I feel like he just be out there doing stuff just because he know he was dead wrong for whatever he did in the previous game, and it don't always work out in his favor. Like, bro,
Yeah.
just because you put up 13 shots last game and you felt like that wasn't enough, you know what I'm saying? Because and here's the problem. Here's what it turns into. So when you look at the box, he put up 13 last game. He got fined. He was upset. He went in the press conference. He was cussing. I only put up 13 MF in shots, whatever it was that he said. He go out there tonight, he put up 12, he put up 26, he go 12 for 26. Julius Randle, who was hot last game, only puts up 11. You know what I'm saying? So it's like did you take something away from your teammate there and shoot his confidence down a little bit where hey, I look, bro, we can't go out there and I only shoot 13 shots again. If we lose, we going down swinging with me taking the shots. Well, what's the point of that? We was gonna lose regardless. You might as well
Yeah.
split the load with the guy that they went and got to be your running mate. Because your other running mate is out there in New York, and we gonna get to him in a second, but he just had 32 and 15. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't get so mad and so upset with yourself that at the expense of your teammate, you know what I'm saying? You put your teammate at a faulty position. I don't like that. Like I want you to be a leader, but don't put your man's in a bad spot either though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, I feel that. I mean, only thing I'll push back is that Chris Finch in that fourth quarter said F Randall. He said, "You on the bench, cuz." He
Yeah, I
said,
mean, and rightfully so. Rightfully so by that point. But my whole point is we could tell not SGA, you could tell Ant came into this game with a vengeance to shoot the ball. You feel what I'm saying? Like he came into this game with the mindset of you could tell he walked into the arena tonight like I only took 13 shots last game. I got something for that. I got something for that.
I think too, the coaching staff made a concerted effort to be like, we want you to get in the post and get more to the basket. And he was trying to do that off rip. And then, like he be feeling himself off them threes too, because he be having a little bit. Now he's a much night and day better shooter than Jalen Brown, but it's like y'all be falling in love with that three sometimes when like you so athletic. It's just hard because the Thunder, their defense in the paint is so great. But that's the reason why Chris Finchman was like, yo, get your buckets in the post. But when you try to compare to MJ, he got code. MJ be getting his John in the post. And if they double kick out open man in the corner. And that's what and so he has to work in the post because you might have one game, I think, maybe two, where you go crazy hot from three, but that's not something that you can just rely on saying, all right, I'm gonna make 5, 6, 7. I'm about to pull a Naismith and have 6 threes in the fourth quarter. Like that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen. And again, so that's why I'm like, at this rate, how they playing, I got OKC in 5. You might have an Ant explosion, and he will. Like he's
It'll be the
so
first game
talented.
at
He'll
home.
have
It'll be the
one.
first
He'll
game at
have one
home,
where
and
he
that's
has
cool.
8 threes.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
cool.
it's just not sustainable to do. You got to get some high percentage shots for sure. So we can really shift gears to this Knicks game, and I'm a little bit conflicted because
Mm-mm.
in New York right now, I'd be lying if I said, "Hey, bro, I'm 24 years old. Like to go outside. If the Knicks get to the finals, the city is going to be jumping." But I'm
I ain't
not
gonna
gonna
lie.
lie.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. They make it to the finals. Matter of fact, if it come down to like game 7 or something, if it come to like game 7, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna just go ahead and take the drive. I'm
Go
gonna
to
come.
Penn
I'm gonna just
Station.
come. Yeah. I'm gonna just come ride down your way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just come
Stay
ride
at the
down to the
crib.
city. Yeah.
Stay at the crib, yo. That's like so I know even
That's how
like
you
game
just gotta
5.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you gotta do
Like,
it. You gotta do it.
yeah.
You're like, you gotta do it. And like it's a little bit conflicted there. Uh but the reason why I had the Pacers win this series primarily was because of their depth. And like last night, me and Cole was going back and forth. We're going to agree, disagree on it to an extent. He agreed with some stuff I was saying, but here was my point. I'm gonna get it through. I'm not gonna harp on it too much. My problem with the Knicks and Tibbs, I compare how Tibbs coached the Knicks to a young guy with a fast metabolism that eats terribly. And that as he ages, as time goes on, it catches up to him. And so with the Knicks, if you're playing these guys high minutes in January and February and March, it's going to bite you in the ass come May. That's what's going to happen. Now, I get it's playoff time and the rotation ain't going to be 10 guys. I mean, what the Thunder are doing right now is freaking ridiculous. But even they're playing, yeah, they'll play like 8, maybe 9 guys. So they're just an anomaly right there. But for the most part, you shrink your rotation. I get that. My issue is you're shrinking your rotation too early in the season. If you got Josh Hart on freaking E in February, it's going to catch up come May. And so when you got him getting beat from a backside cut from Nemhard, I got a lot of belief in Josh Hart. And folks might disagree, but I feel like he's tired. He's too good of a defender, has too good an IQ. It's overtime. Cuz tired. Cat. Long 3, short. Jalen Brunson, 3, airball. These guys is tired, especially when you settling for threes. Y'all is tired. Now, some can say, hey, like, if OG just make his if OG make his free throw at the end of the game, the Knicks win the game. And I'm not talking about that. And to a certain extent, that's true. But it's a make or miss league. Hey, if Kyrie don't hit that shot against the Warriors in Game 7, we not talking about LeBron winning that chip in Cleveland. Like, it's a make or miss league in some things. So, but I think ultimately the Pacers specifically are extremely deep. Obi Toppin going crazy. TJ McConnell, y'all that Sixers fans, y'all know who TJ McConnell is, what he brings. Naismith, Nemhard. I mean, you got Tyrese Halliburton, who is being one of the most clutch players. I mean, he's having an all-time great clutch postseason. And it's not even like a question. Like, he's had the most clutch game winners like ever. Like three either ties or game winners in the last 5 seconds of the game in postseason. That ain't been done. Like, that ain't like we saw LeBron have 2 in 2018. What Tyrese doing it is crazy, so he deserves respect. I just feel like they're just too deep. So I think the only way the Knicks can win is if they dominate the boards by like 10 to 15 plus. Like, they got to really dominate the boards for real. Otherwise, if you just at the Pacers' pace, like, they can just run up and down the court, and he's going to get bad, bro. So I was a little bit long-winded right there. So I got the Pacers in 6 just because of their depth.
Yeah, I got the Knicks in 6 still. And I don't think my only problem with the fatigue argument is I'm more inclined to say that they're fatigued because they've played probably maybe not the toughest schedule in terms of teams and talent, but they've played one of the deepest schedules in the playoffs, meaning all of their game that both of their series have been 6 and 7 game series, and all of them have come down to the good majority of them have come down to the last few minutes of the game. And for 7 games in the first round, 6 games in the second round, and now here they are. I'm more inclined to believe that that's why they're tired, bro. I understand what everybody's saying, like, okay, yeah, they tired from the season. But if that was the case, why was they good for 7 games in the first round? Why was they good for another 6 games in the second round? And truth be told, me and you are of the same thought that even if Jason Tate, even if Jay Tate didn't get hurt, me and you are of the same thought that they probably would have won that series against the Celtics as well. So if we are of those same thoughts, I just have a problem with all of a sudden game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals rolls around and they too tired to finish out the game. They too tired to close. OG Ananobi was 30 for 33 before in the playoffs before that missed free throw that he missed last night. He was 30 for 33. That's a missed free throw. It's a make or miss league. You're right. And that's the reason they lost. Not because they're tired. Now, there's a lot of things that allude to they might be tired, but bro, I mean, when you play this style of basketball, when you play this fast paced style of basketball, the basketball is not very. It's not very. You don't take care of the ball with the same importance that you would if you were playing a slow, grinded out pace of basketball. So when you have 15 turnovers, but you're playing at this pace, I'm not that mad at it. I mean, teams is out here. I mean, we just seen Minnesota have 20 and they had 15 playing this style of basketball. Now that being said, if you gonna have 15, you're gonna have to go and turn over Indiana as well, because Indiana only has 7 turnovers. You see what I'm saying? So there has to be some give and take to it. But I just think, bro, like you don't see Aaron Naismith uh four or so minutes to go, 6 made threes. You just don't see that every day. You don't
Yeah.
see that every day. So I'm not mad. The way that New York lost this game, are there a lot of things that they could have done better? Sure. But I don't know if it was fatigue, and I don't know. Listen, we're never gonna see Aaron. I don't want to say never, because that's
Yeah.
just crazy because he's an NBA player.
I'm gonna
But
lie, bro. We will never see him do that ever again.
that's what I'm saying. We're not gonna see that happen again. He's the only person in NBA history to have ever made that many threes in that span of time to close out a game. Game six, Clay doesn't even look like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the hottest hand we may have ever seen in NBA history for 4 minutes. For a 4 minute period, this is the hottest hand we've ever seen. Not only will we never see that again, I'm not confident that you get another 30 ball out of Aaron Naismith. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be looking for that 30 ball from somewhere else. And you better hope that and we have different opinions. Me and you have different opinions of Pascal Siakam, but you better hope that Pascal Siakam can give you that 30 balls. Somebody got to give it to you. Because it's not gonna be Aaron Naismith again tomorrow. It's not gonna be that tomorrow because he's not gonna make six threes to put up 20. Let's think about how crazy this is. He had 20, he had 4 points or 6 points before this all started. And with 4 minutes left, he goes on to put up or he had 12 points before this all started. And with 4 minutes left, he goes on to put up another 18 points. He's not putting up 18 points in 4 minutes again tomorrow. I promise you he's not. He's not gonna go for another 30 ball. So you're gonna need a 30 ball from somebody. But if you don't have a 30 ball, that game is out of hand and you're losing that game. And Aaron Naismith gives you a 30 ball, and you still only, if you're the Knicks, you still only lose by 3 points in a game that you should have won if you don't miss free throw after free throw down the stretch. Give me the Knicks, bro. It just seems like it's gonna take too much from a lot of other people that I don't think you're gonna get for Indiana for them to win at six. I don't know about that.
Well, I got the Pacers in 6. Kobe got the Knicks in 6. Who you got, P?
Uh, I ain't gonna lie. I think the Pacers gonna win in 6. I'm not gonna hold you. This is the only, the only asterisk I put to that is I'm not sure if the NBA is ready to have a double smaller market finals. I mean, we had one with kind of with Phoenix and Milwaukee a couple years back. But I don't know if they're ready to have a Oklahoma City, Indiana Pacers, like Indianapolis type of.
That's
You feel
great hoop
me?
though. That's
They
great
That
hoop.
is,
want
I'm
Knicks.
not,
They
I'm
want
not, I'm
Knicks
not saying.
Wolves.
Yes, I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not great. I agree that that's a great hoop. It's a very fast paced, up tempo, exciting finals. But at the same time, the NBA has a chance to put New York in the finals. That don't really happen too often. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if that
What you
series
mean?
goes
Like
to
you mean
seven.
like you feel like the calls like they'll like
I'm
favor more
I'm
the
just
Knicks.
saying, if we get to game 6 and it's close, right? And it's close, don't be surprised if we have a game 7. That's all I'm saying. If we get to game 5, if we get to game 5 and the Pacers is up 3-1, don't be surprised if we get to a game 6, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm
Means
saying. Like I
they gotta stomp on him.
yes, the Pacers is gonna have to like real life 20-point clear cut. We just better than y'all. There's nothing the league can do. You know what I'm saying? But the Knicks is going to have a chance. Like the Knicks are winning game 2. Like to me, the Knicks are gonna win game two. Like there's no way if the Knicks lose tomorrow,
If the Knicks
they
lose
might.
tomorrow, it's
I mean,
over.
if
It's
if
over.
the Knicks lose tomorrow, they might bring out them brooms, shorty. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, if the Knicks lose tomorrow, they might bring out them brooms.
Here's my thing, just to respond to what Kobe said about. Now I get like, all right, boom, like Naismith, thinking NBA player will never have that fourth quarter again. He does stuff that
I disagree with that though.
2015 Steph did. Like that's just
I just
it was
disagree with that.
insane. It was insane.
You
I
think
will
that Aaron
say
Naismith
though,
gonna do that again?
I'm not saying I think he's going to do that again, but I'm not going to say I don't think he can't do it again. I think that's what that they needed that to get them back in that game the other day. But also, I think the
You think?
Pacers were
Wait. Let me
no. I think
rephrase my question. You think Aaron Naismith, with
yeah,
4 minutes left in the fourth quarter,
no. I'm not
can
saying
drop
he's
six
gonna.
threes again?
I'm not saying he's gonna do that exact thing again. I'm saying I don't think the Pacers are gonna need him to do that exact thing
I agree
again.
with that.
Oh, okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'm
why.
not saying, but I'm saying Aaron Naismith is for the Indiana Pacers. He's very capable of that because of how the Indiana Pacers play basketball, their tempo, their style of play, and how many possessions. Like, I mean, just think about in the last, they came back in 2 minutes and 38 seconds. But think about how many possessions were created and made in that 2 minutes and 38 seconds. So,
I
like,
agree that
it was
like
him, but it could have been anybody else too.
yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It could be uh if it's like Nemhard doing like three threes, something like that, like he could go crazy. So like uh, while that was an outlier, a guy that averages 12 in the regular season, drops 30 in the playoffs. That's an outlier from him. A guy that I think will have a bigger game, who me and Cope disagree with. I think Siakam will have a better game. I think Miles Turner against Cat, who ain't known to be some crazy defender. I think he can have a 20-point, 25-point game. TJ McConnell, I've seen him be a Knicks killer. He had 10, he can go out here and go 15, 18. So I think it's so many guys. Obi Toppin, I mean, I feel like it's a revenge series for him. I mean, he already had his, I guess, last season when they won too. So the Pacers, they got so many guys. With the Knicks, my concern is like, all right, is not all right. Yeah, Brunson, he had the turnovers, and that's because of how fast they was playing. And it's kind of like you racing your mans, and like you can't keep up with that pace. Like you gotta run at your own pace. Like and running that 400, you can't just break out that 100 just like how he doing. Maybe you gotta hold off to that last 200, then you gotta go crazy. So that was something that Jalen Brunson was a detriment to him. He had his season high for turnovers that game. But like Cat, I don't know how Cat can play better. I was arguing with Andy. I'm like, bro, Cat can't play better. Like, that's the best. If I will apologize to Cat. If he dropped 40 and 20, I apologize, bro. But that's one of the best game, probably the best game Cat played this postseason. Mikal Bridges was efficient. I think Josh Hart, the Kobe, you said I feel like he had a Josh Hart type of game. But like offensively, like the Knicks gave you damn near like an A performance. Maybe not A plus because the OG missed free throws. Uh, but like I feel like the Knicks really, yeah, did what they could. Like Cat had a great game. So if it's not my thing, bro, all right, if it's not Cat or Brunson going off, who who gonna really pick up the slack? Like, do you trust Mikal Bridges to maybe you do go for 25, high 30s? You know, I don't know who else is gonna be. I feel like they're too dependent on Cat and Brunson to be spectacular each and every game versus the Pacers, they're more spread out with it.
Why? This is my thing. Everybody hit their averages except for Josh Hart. Everybody, everybody. Uh, Miles Bridges averages like he What Miles Bridges average? Probably what, 17, 18? Something like that.
I think he was somewhere around there.
It's like 17, I believe. It's like 17 or 18. He had 16. Same thing, OG Anunoby. He averages like 17 or 18. He had 16. Cat had 35. Jalen Brunson had 43. That's what you expect from your stars in the playoffs. Like
I mean,
you expect your stars to have 30 balls in the playoffs. That's just what it is. Like they supposed to have 30 balls. And then Josh Hart is the only one that was below his averages. I think he averages like 15. He had 8.
no,
So my
he averaged 13.
and he had 8. If hold on, hear me out. If he gives you that, if he give you that 5 points back, you win the game. You only lost by 3.
I don't think that's the problem with them.
But that's what I'm saying. But no, that was my point to Miles, though. That was the point that I was making to Miles. Is like Miles was saying, like they expecting too much, and my point to Miles was is I don't think this is too much. I think this is exactly what you like. Like, do you expect Jalen Brunson to have 43 every game? No, but I expect him to be 35 above, 35 and above. That's who he is. He's a 35 and above type of player in the playoffs. Do I expect Cat to have 35 every game? No, but I expect him between 28 and 28 up, 27 up.
Mm,
At this
20.
stage of the playoffs, that's where I expect him to be. At this stage of the playoffs, that's where I expect him to be.
Well, he got to eat. But for them to have a chance, he got to eat, especially
That's what I'm
because
saying.
yeah,
And with the
I mean,
matchups that he's gonna draw this series, I think that's a part of it too. With the matchups that he's gonna draw this series, I don't see why he can't have 27, 28 points plus per game.
I don't think the matchups are favorable for him, to be honest in
that's what I
this
was going.
series.
Why?
Because I
Yeah,
don't think like with the way Cat plays and how he's just been moving this season, but also like going into the playoffs and in the playoffs so far. Like Pascal Siakam is a tough matchup for him because he's undersized compared to him, but he can get up under him, he can guard him, he's long, he's more agile. Then when you switch off and you got Miles Turner, who's the same size, if not bigger, he's just as quick, just as strong, just as long, just as athletic, if not
Miles
more than
Turner
him.
is soft as baby food.
Yeah, but you're talking about Carl Anthony Towns, who's also soft as baby food. You okay,
I
soft
understand, but
enough.
I'm taking Cat over. I'm taking Cat
And
over Miles Turner, and
What
I
and
don't
about
think
this
that's
that's
and
though?
fair.
that's where you're
What
gonna
about this though,
lose
P?
every
If you
time.
play P, if the Knicks play Cat for the offensive production, I think their biggest advantage is rebounding. So if you play Cat and you
Wait,
sit in Mitchell
hold on,
Robinson,
Pete, hold on, Miles. Nigga, Pete, did you just tell me I'm gonna lose every time taking Cat over Miles Turner? And Miles Turner just went out there and had 14 and 5, and Cat had 35 and 12. What are we talking about?
Who
What are you
won the
talking
game?
about?
Who won the game?
Bro, okay, that's cool, but you just told me I'm gonna lose every time taking
I'm
Cat
taking
over Miles
Miles
Turner.
Turner. I'm taking Miles Turner over Cat, bro.
But you can't, but you can't say with confidence, you're gonna lose every
I'm
time. What are we talking
I'm
about?
taking
Like
Miles
that's some
Turner
like
over
it's
Cat
some
every like I
well,
don't
why you
know.
taking Miles Turner? I like it. I like
Bro,
it.
Cat is soft, bro. Cat is soft.
what is
He's
Miles
not,
Turner?
bro. Cat is soft. He's
What is
not
Miles
like he
Turner?
doesn't. Cat to me personally, I'm just not a fan. Like, I'm not a fan of Cat. I don't really.
You don't have to be, but what is Miles Turner? If you're not a fan of
Nah,
Cat, what the hell is
Miles
Miles Turner
Turner.
to you?
Miles Turner, to me personally, he's a better defender. He's a better and more agile defender,
You a defender.
perimeter and at the rim. He shoots the three just as well as Cat does, if not better. The only thing that Cat does better than him is play off the dribble, better than him. Outside of that, if you want to say both of them are soft in your own way, sure, go ahead. But like, I rather Miles Turner is more versatile, and he's not a ball stopper. Miles Turner is not a ball stopper offensively. Miles Turner can play in the offense, move the ball. He can get in. He don't every time he catch it, he gotta square up, jab, do all this extra flopping and showboat. Like he don't gotta do all that, bro. He don't gotta flop and say, "Oh my god!"
Miles Turner
Like he
is
don't
not
like,
anything. I agree with you,
bro.
Cat
Like
Corny.
he's
I agree with
not
you, Cat
like,
Corny.
bro.
I
It's
ain't
just
never
not.
listen. This is the thing. This is the thing. I ain't MJ noticed about me. I ain't never been the biggest Cat fan in the world. But what I'm not gonna do is take Miles Turner over Cat. That's just I don't even. They're
I'm
not
taking Miles Turner
statistically. They
over
not
Cat.
even in the same realm neither. Like
I don't need. That's the point, though. I don't need them to be in the same realm to win. Like the fact that's one of the problems that I think the Knicks have is Karl Anthony Towns has to be good.
That's
He has to be elite
gonna be
for
30
them to have
plus.
a chance to win. If Miles Turner comes in and gives them 15, 5, and 5, that's all the Pacers really need from him for them to be successful. But he's still going to give you just as
Yeah, but
equal
you making that
production,
a
if not
you
more.
making that a personal cat problem. That's not a personal cat problem.
It is a personal
I
cap
think
problem.
it is, bro, because
It
they
is a
brought him
personal cap
there
problem.
for this to be that. But I don't know if he can do no
Wait,
30
wait, wait.
and
But
30 and
listen to
15.
yourselves. Y'all are telling me that the problem is that the Knicks need Cat to be what he was last night. And the Pacers only need Miles Turner to be a 14 and 5 guy. And this is a Cat problem?
Yes, this is a cap problem because Cat is not going to consistently give you what he did last night. That's the problem. Cat's not going to do that. He's not going to give you what he did last night. And to be
Okay,
truthful,
so
like
if he don't give you 35 and 12, but he still give you 24 and 10, like that's a
that's not
bad.
enough.
I don't think
That's
that's
not
enough
enough. That's not enough.
unless
But
you
this is my
have
point.
like
But hold on, MJ. This is my point. That doesn't have to be enough to win the series and the games. But if your big is giving you 24 and 10, that doesn't make him a bad big. You trying
That's
to tell
fine.
me that you're
Well,
taking Miles Turner over him as if
yeah,
statistically, and I understand you said you are. My point is you trying to tell me that you taking Miles Turner over him, but the only point that I'm making is if the team is constructed in a way that 24 and 10 from Cat is not enough, 24 and 10 is not a bad game. It's not a bad game.
it
On any
depends on
other
it
team, that's a
depends.
winning game.
That's the thing. He's not on any other team. He's on the Knicks. So 24 and 10 for Karl Anthony Towns on the Knicks is a bad game. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. It's a bad game. If Karl Anthony Towns was somewhere else where 24 and 10 was cool and they was winning, great. But he's not. He's in New York and they need him to do more. And I don't believe that Karl Anthony Towns can consistently do more for them to be successful. And to me, tell me something that Karl Anthony Towns does that Miles Turner cannot do.
They're not even statistically in the same realm, brother.
But tell me
They're
something
not even
that
they're
he
not
does
even in
that
the
Miles
same realm.
Turner
I don't
can't
have to tell
do.
you nothing. I don't have to tell you nothing. They're not in the same realm. They not.
They do the same
I think
thing.
there is
Bro woke
substance
up
to
out his
like
sleep. Bro woke up out his sleep on time in the day. What's
They
up?
they do the
I
same
think
thing.
that the I
They
think the
do the same thing.
defensive
You woke up
the
upset. You
defensive
woke up upset today,
efficiency.
bro.
No, they do the same thing. One is just more overly paid than the other.
They don't do the same thing. They're not even in the same realm. You know this. Go
They
look at
do
the
the
stats. They're
same.
not in
We
the same
know,
realm
bro.
at
We know
all.
Cat more
Bro,
talented.
when you play the film, they do the same thing. One is just more overly paid and overly criticized than the other. And one is they do the
They
same thing.
not statistically. The numbers say they not in the same ball game.
Hey,
You
well,
want me
like
to? Men lie, women lie, everybody lie. You know and don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't
15.
lie, but numbers are
Miles
also
Turner.
don't tell the
No,
whole
shut up.
story.
Miles Turner averaging 15 and 6. And Cat averaging 24 and 12. They're not in the same game. That's not the same game at all. And you know
but
that. If this was
defensively,
another player,
bro.
if these was two other players and one was averaging literally double in both of the categories than the other player, y'all wouldn't be talking like this. I understand. I'm not the biggest Cat fan either. Don't make me sit here and have to defend Cat all night, bruh. I'm not the biggest Cat fan either. But if one is averaging 24 and 12 and the other one is averaging 12 and 6, like
Who's
that's not the
averaging
same,
24?
huh?
Who's averaging 24? Kyrie's averaging
Cat in
20
the
a
average
night
cat
in the
in the
postseason.
cat in the regular season averaged 24 and 12, bruh.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the postseason. Okay.
I think the point.
Cat
I think the point. Hold on. I think the point P making is all right. If Rick Carlisle could pick Cat or Miles Turner, he pick a Miles Turner. I think he pick a Miles Turner. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
There's a lot of GMs and head coaches that are picking Miles Turner.
I think the thing about Turner, bro.
That's my point is
Cat,
like if
Cat
you're
more
talking about the
talented, right?
stats,
Cat more talented, bro.
if you're talking about the stats, okay, his numbers are better, but also his production of use for the team that he's on is catered to his numbers being better. But when you play the clips of them, which your point is right, the numbers don't lie. But in this situation, the numbers don't tell the whole story. When you play the clips of both of them and you play the film, they do the exact same thing. One's usage rate is just higher than the others. So the numbers average out higher than the others. But Miles Turner and Karl Anthony Towns do the same thing. One is just entirely more overpaid, and one is entirely underpaid in respects to those two. And that's literally the only difference.
Well, look, it's gonna be a series for sure. I think last thing on this series, thoughts on Tyrese Halliburton, because the last time we was on this, John, it was jokes. I forget what the convo was. I forget what the convo was, but I was making some point. I was making some point, and like I was kind of propping up Tyrese, but it was on some funny stuff. And then he had that game winner against the Bucks, and now he's really bugging. And I think with Hallie, I ain't gonna say he a superstar yet. But if he get this team to the finals, he a superstar. He a superstar. And what I love about his game the most is that he can get you 10 assists, and his assist to turnover ratio, it's awesome. Chris Paul-ish. It is. I mean, and then clutch wise, I mean, he's having one of the most clutch postseasons of all time. He hooping right now.
Well, so let me be clear. Not if he wins the finals. If he gets the team to the finals, he's a superstar.
Yeah, yeah. Get them there.
I don't like
You don't
that
think
one.
so?
I don't like that one only because, and you're the main victim of this. You love to talk about who people play against on their way to the finals and Super Bowls and all of the things. That being said, he played against. I mean, and I get it. I don't think that was a very good. I don't think that was a very good Milwaukee team at all. I don't. And the Cavs team, while very good, was beat up for a good portion of that series. They didn't play. They took a few games. They took a few games in Cleveland to a hurt Cavs team. Um, I just don't. I'm not like completely sold. I'm not completely sold that if he gets it, that the only thing he has to do is win this series and get the team to the finals, and that I'm putting him in in the territory of some of your other quote unquote superstars. I
I'll
don't think
buy.
so.
Like, bro.
Can I
I'll
ask a
give you the
question?
Bucks.
Can I
I'll
ask a
give you the
question,
Bucks,
Cole, real quick?
bro. I'll give you the Bucks, but like my fault. I'll give you the Bucks, but like the Cavs, I ain't buying that, bro. Because game two, even though Mobley and Allen and Hunter wasn't in there, maybe Allen was in there,
And
but
Garland.
Mobley and Allen.
And
I mean,
Garland.
I'm sorry, it was Mobley and DeAndre Hunter. They wasn't there, and
And
Darius
Garland.
Garland. Darius Garland. All right, game two, Garland, Hunter, and Mobley weren't in, and they were still up huge in the last minute of the game, and it was Hallie coming up clutch that sealed the game. Like they could have very well won that jump. So
I
I'm
don't
not.
give
I'm not.
props to.
The
I get
Cavs,
what you.
they
My
lost to
my
the
only
weird team.
rebuttal. That's cool. My only rebuttal to that is I don't give you props for being in positions that you shouldn't have been in. If I'm walking into a game and Mobley, Allen, Garland aren't playing, why are you behind with a minute to go?
I mean, y'all know how.
I mean, Gus still got the game winner. I mean, he
No,
still
no,
got the
no.
game
I, I
winner.
get, I get
Uh,
that he has the game winner, and I know what P gonna say too. I get that he has the game winner, and I know what P gonna play. You still got to go out there. You got to win. I get it. I just think if a team is injured, like, and I ain't talking about, oh, I just don't respect the talent of the other team. my whole point is that I think if the other team was fully healthy, this would have been a much. I would have more respect for the way that it went down. Not that I don't respect it. I mean, he's getting to the finals. He's getting to the finals. Good on him. Great on him. I just don't think that. I don't know if just getting to the finals makes you a superstar though. That's my
Do
only.
you consider Jalen Brunson a superstar?
Um.
If he gets to the finals,
Sure. Sure.
So
Sure.
what's the what wait,
what?
so what's the difference between him and Holly?
Huh?
What's the difference between him and Tyrese Halliburton?
Uh. I think. I think the path for me is what changes it. I think Jalen Brunson was in Dallas. I think the whole story is what changes it for me. I think superstar is more than just play. I think it's a story. I think it's everything. I think it's the way that you felt about this player before 6 games ago. Like 6 games ago, none of you were talking about 6 games ago. We took Lamelo over Halliburton. That's what we
That's
were
true.
saying. That's what we were saying right before the playoffs started. And
That's
now all of a sudden this playoff run, if only if he gets to the and let's be clear, I'm not saying that he can't be a superstar, but my point is right before this playoff run, me and you are on record saying, bro, give me LaMelo cleared, easy. Now,
yeah.
after this playoff run alone, even if he just gets to the finals, he's a superstar. I don't know how you make that jump in in a playoff run.
You make
He's
that jump by
arrived.
the
That's great. He's arrived. That's great. But superstar, he can't
you
just be a
make
star.
you make that jump. That's the thing. Nobody I at least I never said Holly wasn't a star. Like I do think he's a star. You don't get on Team USA or win a gold medal without being a star. But the reason of why he can make that jump is because of the first word that you said was a story. This playoff run is his story. Last year's playoff run was a part of his story. His time in Sacramento, being under another point guard in his era, who he's now either reached equal status to or eclipsed, is his story. And lining up against the point guard that you're claiming to be a superstar who hasn't made it to a finals yet either, or won anything for that matter, is a part of his story. So like for Tyrese Halliburton and for their journey, like this so far in this playoffs, I mean the Bucks, like to me, I know how I am. Like if you lace up and y'all play, like you still gotta go out there and win the game. The Bucks still had their best player. Giannis is still on the floor. So there's no excuses as to why the Bucks are not capable of finding ways to win games. You go against the Cavs series, the only game that those guys was out was game two. Mobley played in game one. Jared Allen played in game one. DeAndre Hunter played in game one. All three of them sat out in game two. They came back game three, four, and five. So that's not an excuse to me. And in game two, when you got a team playing without they other two superstars and a key piece for them, like they come out with a whole different bunch of energy, trying to, prove that they could still get the job done or, defend home court, which they did. And Tyrese Halliburton led the way to come back to steal game two in Cleveland. It wasn't like somebody else did it for him. No, he said we not going out like that. So that's a part of his story too. Because I that was one thing that I always said about him is I wanted to see him like arrive in that moment. And time again in this playoff run, he has done so. And it don't look like he plan on stopping no time soon, according to how game one just went. So like to me, if Tyrese Halliburton gets the Indiana Pacers to the finals, he's reached superstar status.
Yeah.
And especially if he wins the finals, he's really reached superstar status.
If he
But
wins
like
it, would you say that?
Yeah,
if he
no, I'm cool. Yeah, if he win, if he even if he makes it a series, I'm cool. Just getting to the finals. If you get to the finals and you get swept, if you get to the finals and you had a great run to get there, and then you just go out there and get swept by SGA and them boys, like that's cool. You got there. It was a great run getting there. But what's the last thing that's gonna be left in your mind as you sit through the rest of the summer? His ass went out there and got swept. I'm not. That's just me. That's just how I. how I live. Now, if he make it a series, if he get there, like my whole point is just getting there isn't enough for me because that implies that you can get there, get swept, and we not even we. There's no conversation. He's still a superstar.
But like
That
we
right there
love
is not cool
Bron.
for me.
But I
We
feel
love
like I
Bron
feel
at 22. He
I
got
I
got
feel
into the
like
finals though.
I feel like that's a little unjust because of how many guys they first time they got there got swept or beat bad. The first time a lot of guys got there, they first time and I'm not saying that the Pacers will get swept, but I don't think they'll get
I
swept by
think
any team. I don't think
we about
there's
to talk
not.
about SBA and them.
I
Yeah,
don't think there's a team left in the playoffs that could sweep the Pacers. Like the Pacers are gonna win because of their tempo and how they play. So they're gonna
I
That's
get
actually
into
not
don't.
some
the
games.
point. That's not the point. My point is the discourse that you used was implied that that could happen. That could be okay with you. That he could just get there, just get swept, and that would
No,
that
I
the
never said just get swept. I said he could get to the finals, and if they don't win, I think he's still a superstar.
but no. When my specific question to you was all he has to do is get to the finals, and you said yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nobody's saying anything about getting
That
swept.
implies that implies, bro, if the only thing you have to do is get there, that means before you even play a game in there, you are the superstar.
He
yeah.
is,
So my point is, it implies that if you just go in there and get swept, it's okay.
but they're not getting swept.
That's it. You can't
I
change
know
it
it.
once.
No, no. I know what you said, Cole. Hold on, no, no, hold on, hold on. I
You
know what
know
you
what's up
said,
with him
Cole.
tonight, bro.
Hold on. I know
No,
what you
he's
said, Cole.
implying that they're going to go to the if they go to the finals, they're
No,
not getting swept.
I'm not implying that they are getting swept. P, you're not listening.
No, 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 no,
I'm
no, no.
saying, I'm saying
Let me.
that your question, the discourse that you are using, implies that it's okay to go and get swept. I'm not
F
saying
getting
they
swept though.
will,
Let's just
huh?
say you're basically saying, and I'm with P that he can Tyrese can average 10 points in the finals. He's still superstar because he got there.
That's
That's what he's
nasty to
saying.
me. Yeah, that's
It's
what I'm
because he
saying.
got
I'm
there.
saying that's
Because
not
he got
okay.
there.
I'm saying that that's not okay in my book. In my book, he has to go out there and actually play, compete, da 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 da. What I'm saying is the way that y'all answered the question at hand says and implies that he could go out there, just average 10 points, just get swept, basically poop the bed, and he would be still a superstar at the end of it all.
So you're saying in worst case scenario, he gets there and he's awful. It's not okay for him to be a superstar because of that.
I'm saying that to me, it's going to take more than just like, okay, so my point is like, okay, game seven rolls around, he beats the Knicks. You're telling me that after game seven, no matter what happens, well, no matter what game they beat the Knicks in, no matter what happens after that game, he's a superstar. And to me, that's not okay. That doesn't work for my book. It's just my book. It's yours. You can have it
But
however
why?
you want. Huh?
But why?
Because I don't think
Why?
just getting to the finals is enough.
So why
Well,
is Jalen Brunson a superstar then?
I
I
think
told you for me it's I already
you
answered that
saying
question.
the
I'm not gonna
story,
keep.
bro.
You said the
You
story,
saying
but
that the
what
story.
story?
I'm about to get on him real quick. I'm about to get on
I
him real
think to
quick.
me to me to, to me
I
to
think
me
it's the
to
way
me
Hallie
bring it back
played.
New York. No, I don't have a problem with the way Hallie
If
plays.
Hallie
To
was
me
clearing
to
up,
me bring it to me no
the,
to me bring it to me Jalen Brunson leaving Dallas and bringing New York back to back to life. That to me is like that to me is part of what makes him a superstar. That to me part of what makes him a superstar is the market
is
that
the
he's in.
market.
And yeah, part of it is that. Part of it is that you have to work a lot harder for me. For me personally, you
But
can't
what
just
has
you
Tyrese
can't just be.
Halliburton done for the Pacers? He's brought them back to life. They were trash before he showed up. They were garbage, absolutely garbage before he showed up.
I feel you can
It's
argue
Indiana.
if Brunson
It's
get them to the
That's
finals, you
literally
can
the
argue
biggest or
that means
second biggest
more.
basketball state,
Yeah,
period.
that's okay, P. I got you. I got you. I got you.
So he's done the same thing as Jalen Brunson has done, but he's not a superstar.
in his book, in his
It's
book,
my book,
That
P.
in his book. Hey, I do want to do
What's
this.
up with you, bruh? You all right
I'm just
tonight?
saying. No, I'm
You
just
got
saying
you
that
got a
doesn't
weird
make
you
any
came on here with a
sense.
weird you came on here with a weird vengeance tonight. What's up with you? Take your ass back to
no,
sleep,
no,
dog.
you're just in my
I'm just
position. You're just in
no,
my
I'm just saying
position.
that
Now
I'm
we're
just saying that
agreeing
doesn't
now.
make
Me and
I'm
P
just saying that
agreeing
does
now.
no. I don't have a problem with his point. I'm just saying he's given a A to a guy that did
No,
it
I don't
in
agree with
one
that. I think it's
area,
nasty. I don't
but
agree
in
with
the
it.
other area, the guy did the same exact thing, but it's not okay for this guy. He left one organization where he was playing decently solid, went to another organization that was garbage. Both have brought these garbage historic organizations back to prominence, but
So
one guy
why?
gets the
So why?
plus for it and the
Okay,
other one
so
doesn't.
hold on. So hold on. So hold on. So why is Hallie not already a superstar then?
Why is he not already a superstar?
Yeah.
Because he hadn't because he hadn't
By
been.
your same metric, though, I need to understand why is Hallie not already a superstar? If Jalen is Jalen Brunson a superstar to you?
No, he's not a superstar to me. Jalen Brunson's a star. He's a star to me. He's not a superstar.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson's a star. But I've also seen Tyrese Halliburton, like even when you watch them in other settings outside of their teams, in USA basketball settings and other settings, Tyrese
I
Halliburton
don't
has
care about USA
performed
basketball.
well.
I'm not there. Nobody else is there. Nobody, no cameras are there. Don't care. Don't care.
What do you mean? What do you mean? No cameras
No,
are there.
no, no.
They played on the same teams
Nobody.
in FIBA Cups, America Cups. All the cameras are there. What do you mean?
I thought you was talking about practice. We don't care, P.
No, I'm talking
Go
about
ahead,
real
Miles.
game. I'm talking about
Go
real
ahead, Miles.
games. I'm talking about
Go
for
ahead,
real
Miles.
games.
Hey, I do think you mentioned the hypothetical of the Pacers getting there and if the Thunder, face them, whatever, be asleep. This goes to this SGA topic and all that. But I actually think the Pacers would put up a better fight than the Timberwolves. I firmly believe that. But we got to touch on this past game. And me and Kobe talked about it, but it's only at its full potential when P is here because of
Obviously, he was asleep. Obviously, he was asleep.
Damn,
and
they
so
got blown
like
out.
we was
Huh?
talking last episode.
What you said?
No, they were showing the highlights from this Liberty game. They hit 23s in the game.
Oh yeah, no, they tweet.
That was crazy.
20?
Yeah,
Or not, I think it was 19 or 23s. They like broke the record, but they won
the
like eight.
the little tag was Liber 3, not even Liberty. It was Liber 3.
Yeah,
It's
that
Oh
was
my
crazy.
insane.
gosh.
But you said SGA does what?
All right, boom. So Thunder go up 2-0. And I have I keep coughing. I got a couple of issues of what we was talking about last time. And I don't know if there's like a apology for SGA, the Thunder. If you still think the Wolves are gonna come back, but I'm like, I think this is pretty much. I had OKC in 6. I had SGA over, and I was told SGA got empty calories. I'm just trying to figure out this guy just won the MVP and he's 2 wins away from the NBA finals. And I was told that he can't be the best player on a championship team. And I was told that OKC isn't a young Celtics. They're actually on pace to be better than the Celtics. What you guys say to that, P?
That everything you said was potential and not concrete because it hasn't been done yet. They still got to win two more games to win this series. The Minnesota Timberwolves can go back to Minnesota and tie it up 2-2, and you're going to have a different tone come when it's time to go back for game five. The Thunder haven't done anything to show or for concrete say they're better than the Celtics from last year or this year. They haven't won a championship. He hasn't made it to a finals. He just won the MVP. But why? You know what I'm saying? Like, great. I'm glad he got it because I think he deserved to win it this year. But I mean, like, they haven't. The job's not finished. Like, it's a great start, and like, I mean, you can see things when you watch them both because I watched both games, both of those games, like back, like fully. You could see things in both games with the Timberwolves. I mean, like in game one, even the fact that the Timberwolves were in that game and the Thunder had 31 points off turnovers and the Timberwolves had zero, but the fact that they were still in that game with a chance to win says a lot. Like I think for the Timberwolves, like if they cut down their turnovers and like just continue to play smart basketball, especially late in the game and possessions, like this series could be a lot different come game 5.
So you ain't changed your stance on like SGA being the best player on a championship team,
Um,
or Ant being better every day of the week than Shea, and twice on Sunday.
no, I would still rather have Ant. And I think Shea. I mean, I would still rather have Ant. Um, I like. There's. I don't dislike Shea. I don't think he will be the best player on a championship team. But he got the opportunity to prove me wrong like anybody else. And when he does, I will gladly say, I apologize. You are that, and that'll be that. But as of right now, the job's not finished. So fortunately,
What's
he
your
hopefully
thoughts
he
on
can win
like
6 more
Ant's
games.
play?
And he just needs to be more efficient. That's his only problem. He just needs to be more efficient. When you look at the game today, at halftime, Shea was 6 for 9 with 17 points. Ant was 7 for 18 with 17 points. Like that's the difference is like, you having to work twice as hard and take twice as many shots to get the same production. If Ant gets more efficient in this series, the Timberwolves will win games. That's the biggest. If he gets more efficient and doesn't overwork himself just to get the same equal production, they will win these games.
So how's Ant's method of scoring? Because Chris Finch was like, I'm gonna have this brother in the post in the beginning. And they had him in the post. And then what I saw was so they had him in the post, and then Ant was like, man, this joint getting too hard. F this. Let me start chucking up my threes. I'm like, he gotta stop chucking up them threes, bro.
Man, it's kind of tough to say that when he led the league in 3-point makes this year, and his percentage wasn't bad, and he didn't take the most threes either. So like he led, like that was something that was, I mean, I didn't expect Ant to lead the league in 3-point mix this season. So like, I don't know. I think for Ant,
Yeah.
he's trying to figure out his best way to be effective versus the versatile defenders that the Thunder have, because the Thunder have a lot of different defenders that they can throw at him. And they guard him all different ways, but they're also loading to the ball heavy when him and Julius Randle have the basketball. Like they're straight up like doubling and kind of finding that loophole in NBA defense to kind of be able to double and overload the side, to crowd them a lot. So I mean, it's up for him and Finch to figure out a way for them to have it a little bit easier, now that they're going back home. And then they also have to be able to guard on the other end and kind of slow them down a little bit. But I mean, like I said, the series is far from over. Like we're only 2 games in, and the Thunder still got to win 6 more games to be champions. So
Yeah, I think that's where we differ because I think it's over. I don't think, and you can give your thoughts on like OKC because I feel like their defense is some of the best defense I've ever seen. And the moves that Sam Presti has made, Case and Wallace, Jesus, oh my gosh. That third quarter was amazing. Alex Caruso making championship plays like he has been doing for some time now. And my thing that I've been telling y'all was I know what SGA gonna do. It's about J Dub, it's about Chet. So if Chet give us 20, if J Dub give us 25, I know what Shea gonna do. Oh, it's night night. And then Lou Dort, he going man up on Ant, make it tough for him, make it earn it. I feel like the way that they defend is just that's some championship stuff. And then my last point on them is their third core avalanche, at least lately. I don't know the stats of like before this series, but if you're just talking about this series, their third core avalanche is very, very similar to the Warriors when
mm,
they get that third quarter and they start chucking that John and them runs, you can't stop them. You can't stop them. And the way that they end quarters, I'll give like the Celtics last year. they'll be it'll be a nip and tuck ball game, and then they go on a run at the end of the half. That's what Shai did at the end of the half. Had like 11 points in the last 4 minutes, and then now from it being a 2 point, 3 point game, now it's an 8, 9 point game going in the second half. So I guess what's your thoughts on what the Thunder does well that has gotten them to this point? Because again, yeah, that defense is ridiculous.
My thought on the Thunder is it's the same as it's been all year. Like they're a really good basketball team, like really good, and their leader in Shea, like he's very consistent. That's one thing that I will say that I do give Shea over Ant is how consistent he is. And like I think one of his, I think we were talking about, we've been talking about quotes of players, like his quote of like, "I'm this good because I'm consistent in life." Like I think that's one of the hardest quotes like has that's ever been said like an NBA post game. But I think they're a really good team. Like they have a lot of versatile defenders defensively. Chet defensively for me is he's like the key piece for what they do because they're able to switch and load and kind of overhelp in a lot of areas and clog it up, which you don't really get to see too much in the NBA. One, because of the rules, but also because it takes the right group of guys to be able to defend that way. Chet allows him to do that because he's agile enough to get out and help and close out on 3 point shooters and long closeout and still be able to move his feet. And then you got Lou Dort and Caruso and Wallace and J Dub. Like they all around the same height, same type of build, same type of defender. So like you're not really worried about anybody getting exposed. They don't have any real liabilities defensively. But I think they're a really good team. I mean, they didn't win 60 plus games for no reason. And it's going to be tough to beat them. And if they do go to the finals, I would love to see them versus the Pacers because
I would love to see this.
that's two clash of styles. To see can that defense hold up versus that high powered offense, and how much does what the Thunder do offensively truly affect the Pacers defense?
Yeah.
And I think in that series, you're looking at two teams who are almost similar, but they just operate, different in a few areas. But no, shout out. I mean, SGA, he's being who he is. He's being consistent. He's giving you his numbers. His team is winning. They're guarding really well. But I do think Ant has that. He's had his bumps. He's had his bruises. I think he has it in him to bounce back and even it out. And make it a series to see who truly goes to the finals for the first time.
All right, last jump before we get to the last topic. Kobe, could you touch on what you said about Ant in terms of what I guess his deficiencies per se? When you talk about like the old heads.
Yeah, I just don't like. mm, he can be the OG Slayer, the Legend Slayer, or whatever it is they calling him is cool. But um, I just don't. I just don't like that when he sees his peers, like it's never the same, like it's never the same energy. It's never the same, like it don't never look the same when he see his peers.
What did you
Um
say about the old heads? You said it made you think something different about Bron, Stephen. Like, dang,
yeah, no, it
that's
just
not
show
same
it
for you
just
though.
yeah, it just shows me like it's just truly showing me how old they are now because like when we see the deficiencies of the teams, um when we see it when our favorite guys was in their primes, we knew their teams had deficiencies, but they were able to cover them up. So now we see that like our favorite guys, KD, LeBron, whatever, aren't able to the same way cover up those deficiencies, and Ant is really good at exposing those. But I don't like that when he sees some teams that's matched up to his level or to his caliber because we know the Lakers had their deficiencies. And I'm not trying to make it seem like we thought that that the Lakers had no chance, or that we was at the time making it seem like the Suns had no chance when they was playing Ant and them last year. I'm not trying to make it seem like we was making it like those teams had no chance. But we very clearly knew what their deficiencies were. But because we've seen for so long our favorite guys cover up those deficiencies, I think we still thought that that could happen. Ant has been really good at exposing those, but I don't like that when he sees teams that are on his level, on his caliber, and especially his peers, his those younger guys. It's different. You don't get the job done the same way. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Hmm.
I think it's a I
Hmm.
think it's a fair jump. I think it's a
That's
fair
that's not a
jump.
bad take.
Uh
Yeah, man. I mean, we've
last
only what have we seen
John.
it twice? This is the second time
What?
that we've seen him versus a peer of his.
Yeah. I mean,
You count?
yeah.
Do you count Luca as a peer of his?
Yes.
Ain't near, yeah.
He
I
is
Yes.
think
okay.
so.
So Luca got him last year. He got Luca back with LeBron. So Shea, yeah, that's not. I mean, that's not a bad. That's not. I mean, that's not a bad take. I mean, I ain't mad. I mean, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
Time will tell. Time will tell. Last John. Who's the best coach left in the playoffs? Got Mark Daigneault, um, Chris Finch. Some really good coaches out here. I was going to bring this to P first. Rick Carlisle, Tom Thibodeau.
I mean, probably Carlisle.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he the one that got a championship. He's got the job done before. None of the others have gotten the job done. So he's already been there. He's already done it. Like, and he's. I say Carlisle for this point, even more so in the championship. Rick Carlisle is like those OGs that we've talked about from that we grew up loving and watching. Like he's been able to adjust and adapt to the times of basketball. How he coached that championship team in 2010 and being able to adjust to the new age of today and be able to coach the Indiana Pacers, how he's coaching them to play with this fast paced up tempo, 5 out, delay action, bunch of threes, bunch of quick shots. That is not how he's coached prior to. So him being able to change and learn to do different way and style of basketball and still find success even without a perennial Hall of Famer and a Dirk Nowitzki or Jason Kidd on the floor like that. I mean, hopefully Tyrese Halliburton gets there, or pass out Siakam if he keeps adding to his resume, like gets there. But like he doesn't have that for sure. Bed and bread Hall of Famer either. So I would probably say Rick Carlisle personally.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Definitely say Rick Carlisle. And I don't know how you feel about it, P. Me and Kobe have gone back and forth about it. But I feel like a coach being able to use their depth, like that's a like that's something that I gotta look at a coach and be like, oh, you really using your depth like on your squad, and I gotta that's a plus for you. I ain't say the best way, but like my issue with like Tibbs is that he don't be instilling confidence in the bench earlier in the season. So then late, so come the playoff time, and hell, I know the rotation it gets smaller, whatever. All right, cool. But like the way that the Pacers use Obi Toppin versus how the Knicks did is night and day. I feel like that's coaching. So I'm like sometimes people be like, "Oh, it's the front office. They don't got the players." I feel like if you got a really great coach, they're not going to use 12 guys, but they going to use 8, 7, 8, eight guys and have them playing significant minutes. And I feel like that's the great part, and that's the advantage the Pacers have is they got a
Wait,
coach
if
that's
the
able
wait, wait,
to use
wait,
all
wait,
they
wait, wait,
got.
wait. If it's seven, Tibbs used
Eight,
seven.
really eight, really eight.
Cam only got 10 minutes, but if it's seven, he used seven.
Right. So Cole, what was your take on that?
Right. It wasn't. I don't think. I. I. I was. I think that was a totally different argument that Miles was making. Um, Miles was arguing like two things at the same time, but I was telling Miles I'm not finna sit here and argue the minutes thing with him again. because of. But what really it started off, I was saying,
It
Miles, I'm
started
not
off with
gonna
the
argue
Knicks.
minutes with you because I know what we did last time when we was talking about Bron and JJ Redick and all of that. Like we not arguing minutes again. My thing about this is like I get what he's saying in terms of depth, but I kept asking him, I kept asking him who off of this Knicks bench that he would put in the game and give ample minutes to, and he said Landry Shamet and Precious Achiuwa. I don't have a
In the
problem with
regular
that.
season, bro.
I don't have a problem
In
with
the
that.
regular season,
I
bro.
don't have a
Like,
problem. Like I don't have a problem with that, but I'm just like, bro, like I'm not gonna lie, Landry Shamet and Precious not getting minutes on my squad right now with the way that this squad is currently constructed and currently running. Like that's just not in my wheelhouse. And he was trying to tell me that like, oh, like Thomas Bryant got minutes yesterday. Well, I think that's a matchup based thing, and Thomas Bryant is allowed to get 13 minutes because of the way that you can sneak him in when you playing against that Knicks team. I'm just not sure.
Um,
I'm just not sure who on this Knicks bench I'm giving minutes to other than the three guys that got him in Miles McBride, Cam Payne, and Mitchell Robinson. I'm not
if
sure
he's
who
like,
else is supposed to get those minutes.
I'm not gonna lie. I do think Precious Achua should play more
like,
minutes because he's
you know,
press
Bron,
like
like,
to me, when you look at the Knicks, like Precious Achua is a younger OG. He's a younger Mikael Bridges. Like he's a younger version of them who still he does what they do, not at the elite level yet because he's a young guy still learning his ways in the league, but he is a serviceable piece of size, athleticism, ability to get to the rim, ability to defend every position on the floor. And like he can give those guys a breather without it being a drop off. Obviously, I think Miles McBride should be in the rotation. Mitchell Robinson campaign. Um, and then outside of that, I would say those 8 to 9, like that's where you cut it off. Like that's where you cut it off. But I mean, but we all know Tibbs though. Like Tibbs don't he don't
that's what I
That's who
play
was
he. That's who
saying.
he
Like,
is.
bro, it's what he
like, but
do.
Tibbs don't. I mean, and it's nothing wrong with it because that's how he's felt. He's won in his career, which he's won a lot of basketball games, had a lot of winning seasons that way. He hasn't been able to win a championship. That I don't think he's won a championship. So like he's won a lot of games that way, but it's like, I mean, being a coach, you just never know what's going on behind them closed doors. That's why he looking at that guy and he don't got confidence. Maybe Precious Achua, he don't see Brian in the gym working hard enough to really get minutes. Maybe he just show up 15 minutes before everything gets started and he leave. He the first one of the first people out the door. You just never know to why he's not. It could have to be a non like thing that we don't get to see. Maybe he can throw him in the game and he does good, but it's like, okay, cool. I don't trust your consistency because I don't see you working every day. You just never know those things. I mean, off
I
just
think my
straight
point is,
eye test, he
yeah.
should play.
I think my point is, I'm not losing sleep that Precious Achua isn't getting minutes. Like there's, I don't think to me as I'm watching this series, like I'm not losing sleep that he's not getting minutes, and that's not like a knock on him as much as like I just think. mm,
I know what you mean. Uh,
The only pushback I have to not losing, I'm not losing sleep at all. I'm not losing sleep at all because they ain't paying me. But the only pushback that I do have to that one is when he did get in the Boston series, I do think he made a difference in them winning that series. In the games that he get in, and it wasn't like if you look at the numbers, it wasn't like a large like oh he went for 17 or 15 or had like a breakout night. No, no, no. But I think when he was in that Boston series and they gave OG or a Mikael just or a Josh Hart just a couple minutes to breathe, take a seat, relax. I do think that played a part in them winning that series because he had really good quality minutes in the games that he in the 5 games that he did play in, even if it wasn't by scoring. So and then the
yeah, I
three
think
of
it's
the
good
five
points
games
all
he was in.
around. I only brought it up because, like, and I argue with somebody on Instagram over it because they're like, oh, Tibbs don't got players, and it's like, bro, like I'm just like, if you agree, coach, you able to use more than some 6, 7 guys, or have these guys play all these, have all your starters play all these minutes. We ain't
Mm,
about to.
I just don't believe that though. Like
I
this
would
is this
say I
Tibbs
would
is
say
not the
I
first
mostly
guy that
disagree.
I was about to say. Tibbs is not the first guy that's only ran a 7 man rotation. Like with the
Loki ran
eighth
a
guy that
5.
Oh, here's
yeah,
what
like
He ran a
like
5.
all right, like boom, like Ty Lue. They that was a 7 man that was a 7 man rotation back like in 2016, whatever, right? Or like whatever. But like, was it?
You mean 7? That boy had Kyrie, Bron, K Love, Thompson, JR, Shump, Richard Jefferson,
I'm
Matthew
fried. Okay, I'm fried.
yeah, Dellavedova. I'm missing somebody
Damn,
though.
all
There
right,
was
2016 is a bad example.
they
Timothy
2018,
had
Mozgov.
Mozgov was playing on that. Like they had bodies.
might have been
But
18 then.
18, yeah, that's when
No,
Bron had the
I
greatest
think
year in
that's when.
basketball history.
Yeah, I think, man, yeah, no, yeah, 28, yeah, no,
They was
that's
injured
my
though.
bad.
But they was
Huh?
injured though. They were injured. That's why they didn't have bodies because they were hurt. It wasn't that they were healthy and he didn't play. They didn't have bodies because they were injured and hurt. So it was nothing to play at that point.
I feel like you can get away with playing that short of a rotation if you got like a generational talent. If you don't got generational talent, it's like you gotta have depth. Maybe you feel me? Yeah, that's why they pay. That's why I feel like the Pacers. Yeah, they gonna win that, John. Cause ain't nobody in that series generational. Nobody in that
I ain't
series.
gonna lie, this 2018 roster was kind of sad.
Please
Bron
don't say that on live, bro. Please. You taking away
I
from the
mean,
argument. You taking away from the argument. You gonna say that somebody gonna come find it. They gonna be like, P said the 2018 roster was stacked and Bron should have won. Like,
He looking
no,
at Isaiah Thomas.
I'm not saying he should have won. I'm not saying he should have won.
I'm
I'm
just
just
saying that's what somebody's
saying,
gonna come and say.
yeah, and I'm not saying I don't think he should have won, but like, I mean, you look at the names that's on this roster.
And
Hey,
Wade and D Rose playing
I mean,
with
hey,
Chaden Fry. Remember
you
when
got
they
you
traded for
got
Rodney Hood and it was like
look,
a huge deal. And
yeah,
Rodney Hood was cooking though.
you got Jordan Clarkson, you got Jay Crowder. I know everybody on here has listened to a podcast, and there's a lot of guards that say Jose Calderon bust their ass the first time. So you got Jose, you got Mr. Unk, Jeff Green, George Hill, Rodney. We know Brown, of course. Shooter Kyle Corver, you feel me? K Love, Larry Nance, like
This shit is crazy.
Seti Osman got paid. He got paid for being a great role player. Like you got Big Perk, you feel me? You got Iman.
Stop.
What you got? I'm just saying.
Stop.
He a champ. Big Perk is
Yo.
just saying. You obviously you
Zizic
got
now
D
going to say Zizic
Rose, you got
like
Shump, you got JR, Zaya Thomas, Tristan Thompson, D Wade. Like that's
I think my
hey
lowest
man.
moment as a Brown fan was after game one. My lowest moment. That John hurt. That John
I
hurt.
ain't gonna lie. I really was like, shoot, bro. I had 51. Like,
That Joe is no way. He hit that three. That's like the third quarter. He hit that three and like just
I'm
I
like,
was like,
I feel
yo,
like
he bugging. He
everybody, everybody,
bugging.
everybody look at it different. Like some people look at 51 in a loss and be like, damn, bro, they just wasted my GOAT 51-point game. And some of us be like, he had 51. That was just a better team
I
over
don't,
there. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is.
I don't think it was a waste. I think it was, I mean, it's basketball, bro. It's an honest mistake. We've seen, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen like everybody, it was on JR. Like everybody got on JR because it was the magnitude of the finals. bro, I've seen way dumber plays in basketball than you thinking you up one versus you tied. Like
Magic
I've
Johnson
seen
moved
way,
out the clock.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen way, so like it was just the fact that of course it's associated to Bron. You in like all the scenarios. You're in California of all places, you're in Golden State. You happen to have 3 to 4 to 5 other Hall of Famers on the floor. Like nobody thought the Cavs was gonna be there. Like, oh, we could still game one. Like I
Yeah,
just like it was just, oh my god, this team's unbeatable. They're gonna go 16-0 in the finals. Like you could have beat them. Like
I
it
wish I
was
could
too much.
watch that game like for the first time again. That joke was crazy. I had Twitter going crazy, but hey man, it's getting late. Show us some love, like, comment, subscribe. Going up, going up. Again, congrats to Kobe, uh, position with the Commanders.
Hey, yo, we
Shout
got
out
an
to his new
announcement
venture.
coming tomorrow at 8 man, 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern. Man, we got a nice little announcement. But shout
I
out to
bet.
Cole, though, Femi, Commanders. You about to change your team? Uh, I thought you was going to the winning team. My
That's
fault.
not
My fault.
You know what?
I
at
thought you was
this
going to the
point.
winning team. My fault.
The winning team. What if they won? They're in the
Hey,
same boat as
man.
us.
Bro,
Hey, recency bias. You know what I mean? Recency.
Eagles fans go, hey him.
Hey, man. Shout out to you too, Miles, for winning
Eagles
the Emmy,
fans
though,
gonna hate
bro.
me.
Shout
I
out to you for
Eagles
appreciate
winning
it,
the
fans
man.
gonna
Emmy,
hate me when I
bro.
start with this
Appreciate
with
it.
this JD bias. Eagles fans gonna hate me.
I'm not gonna lie, Miles, you almost blew me though, bro. Because I really looked at your tweet and I didn't want to quote tweet it because you added that Eagles garbage at the bottom of it. I'm like, why he couldn't just talk about winning? I'm like, why he
Why
couldn't?
he can't just have
Yeah,
why he can't just have one Emmy tweet so I can quote
right.
tweet it
You tweet it exactly.
and you know what I mean? Like, nah,
If
I
y'all
dog.
and I
don't know,
saw
I had a
yours because
tweet.
I saw yours, Kobe. I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna. I'm just, that's
I had a tweet, y'all. It was like in this span of like 18 hours, got an Emmy, and then the tush push ain't get banned. Whole time, part of me was like, I thought they was gonna ban that John. So I was like, hell, ban that John. We'll still win the chip. Then they Jason Kelsey game.
dang. He was on your head, Kobe. I didn't even see these. Luke
Hmm?
Tran was talking crazy.
You said what?
I was looking at the comments. Luke Tran. He talking about what you
Uh,
mean you don't care.
Oh, hey Luke, you in this
yeah.
joint still? Yeah, he
He talking
said
about.
if Shai wins the ring and finals MVP, easily clears Tatum. I agree. I
I
agree.
don't I don't disagree with that. He got something that he don't have.
Dang. Oh,
I
oh
don't
yeah,
disagree with that.
MVP, finals MVP chip. Damn.
But I'm consistent, bro. If you got something that's
Shea
gonna
got
work, bro.
a lot to gain. Yeah, Shea got the most to gain right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Like I disagree with that. I think Ant has
You
the
think it's
most
Ant?
to gain. Ant has the most to gain. If
That's
Ant
fair.
can go win a championship and a Finals MVP, Ant is literally. If forget that you don't want to be the face of the league. Here, like it's like if he goes, yeah, he's gonna be overly forced because of Tatum's injury. Like that's another added piece because of Tatum not being able to play. Man, it's you have to be. You don't
Yeah,
have a
that's true.
choice.
That's true.
Y-
Yeah, if Ant win a chip, he go a different stratosphere.
Yeah,
He
like
go a
you
different
don't.
stratosphere.
And that's the thing we've been talking about the commercials and all that. You gonna have to do them now because Tatum out.
Brother really got a Chipotle commercial. That's when I knew we was just he's just we having different conversations about him right now. This is why I need him to come out there and hoop though. He in Chipotle commercials right now, bro. Yeah,
My
he's
I mean,
different
God.
they
right now.
they they trying to get him there. Like they
That's what I'm
trying to they
saying.
trying they trying to get him there. Cause I mean, you
Mm,
talking about
what was I saying last year?
no, hold on though. You was wrong. Jason Tatum was literally Superman. He was in a Superman commercial. You don't just make anybody Superman. Now you get hurt. That's what sucks. A lot of Superman can't get hurt.
Yeah, when Tatum got hurt, bro, I was like, yeah, I've said I'm a hater, but I was like, dang, bro, I can't even troll the way I want to troll, bro. Like,
And the way he went out though, 42.
Yeah. I
Hey,
just
you only good as your last performance, B. I went
It
out
was
giving
it
him my
was
I went out giving him
it
my
was
all,
42.
baby.
It was 42 and a loss though.
Hey,
It
hey,
well, for
I
the
didn't get
was a
to.
loss
Hey,
loss.
hold up. I
by,
didn't
It
get to
by
finish
was
three
a
the game.
loss.
standards.
I
By
didn't get to
three
finish the game.
standards.
I didn't get to finish my game. I didn't get to finish the game. We
Yeah.
just saw what the Pacers did. The
Down
Pacers just came
9.
back. Hey,
Down 9.
The Pacers just came back in 58 seconds down 9. I didn't get to finish my game. I didn't get to
Yeah, I
we
guess.
had a
Somebody did
minute and
It
this
23
helps
that.
his
seconds left.
argument. It
We
surely
had
helps his argument.
Hey, they had a minute and 23 seconds left. I didn't get to finish my game. I had 42. I was hot. I could have
Nah,
finished that
that's
game with
sick.
50.
With a minute and 23 seconds left is absolutely sick.
Hey, bro, I could have finished with 52 and with a dub. Then what the conversation would have been. But I got hurt, so I can't really. I had 42 on the way out the door. I see y'all in 2 years. You hear me?
Mm,
Who?
wow.
Yeah. Well,
I
like
do
he'll be
think that
back,
whole
but it take time to really get back to it.
Uh,
So I'll say year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that first year gonna be just him getting the feedback with for real.
yeah.
Unless he just come out on
some
something crazy,
crazy.
something crazy. Like he might go talk to Kobe at
Do
the
he do he
graveyard.
play
He might have to go talk to Bean at the graveyard, get a couple of knowledge, get a couple. You feel me?
do he play in the playoffs next season?
Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. I think so. I think so. I think he's back, and now is he like elite? I don't know, but does he play? I think so. Depending on how their team's constructed, because I think they might make some changes that may be uncalled for or called
Work. Hey, KP. You out of there, buddy. You're out of
because
there, buddy.
Brad Stevens is going this offseason. I think is going he gonna
As
put
Brad Stevens
something
about to
together.
he
Brad
about
Stevens
to
about Brad Stevenson about to get a little. He might get a little creative this offseason. I'm not
oh for
Yeah,
sure.
he heard too many folks talking about Sam Presti. He about to get
Yeah,
back in his
he
bag.
about
You
to
got to
shut that nigga
drag.
up.
You got to
He
Yeah.
about to shut
drag.
that. I wouldn't be surprised if the Boston Celtics ended up with half the same amount of picks or more that the Thunder got by the end of this offseason.
Yeah, they'll probably trade Drew for a haul. Nobody
Oh,
want KP though.
somebody gonna take him. Even if it's for 2 second rounders, somebody gonna take
Yeah, 2 seconds.
him. Because
All
there's some
right,
teams that could
y'all.
use him.
Again, show some love. Triple threat talk, NBA talk. It's
Like
MJ, it's Kobe, it's P. What you guys say?
before we get off, I got one question for y'all. Last thing. Where y'all think KD should go? Because I got my team that I think he should go
The
to. But
Magic.
Magic, who you got, Kobe?
I ain't even thought about it enough. I ain't gonna lie. I don't. Uh, mm,
Cavs.
nah.
Because I
Nah.
got a
I don't
team. If
know.
he go
He
there,
gotta be in the
if,
East. He gotta be in the East.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If Kevin Durant goes to the Nuggets, I think they win a championship.
So they gonna keep the whole thing together
No,
and get Katie.
you replace KD with Michael. You replace Michael Porter Jr. with KD. They win a championship.
Okay, I like that.
If you keep Jamal, KD, Aaron Gordon, and Joker, and they win a championship. Because I think KD is what the Nuggets need at this point in his career. I think he's what they need, and they're what he
They got
needs.
to get off Brown. Oh, Brown. Christian Brown. Which
Yeah,
I
you can get
would
another.
do. Which I would
You can
do.
get another. You can get another one of him though.
Yeah, no, I would do that. He was coming off. And wow. Now think about
Yeah.
it. Because he's gonna be up. I heard Bobby Marks say Christian Brown gonna be up for 30 mil a year. Bro, he gonna make some. If Isaiah Hartenstein making 30 mil for some floaters and
No, I'm
rebounds,
saying that Nuggets not gonna pay him.
oh, Nuggets not paying that. So that's what I'm saying. They'll probably be more inclined.
They didn't play Bruce Brown.
Yeah, so they'll be more inclined to say, we'll trade you. The Suns gonna be like, yes.
Go get your bread. But I ain't gonna lie. If KD go to the Nuggets, championship next year. No brainer. Wouldn't even think about it. Wouldn't even think about it. Championship easy. Because at that point, there's literally nothing you can do to stop them.
It's
Because that is
yo,
what
I
you
ain't
call
gonna
nothing
lie.
you can do to stop them. You already can't stop Joker and Jamal in the pick and roll. But if KD's the one lifting, good night, Shorty.
That's
Good
upsetting.
That's
I'm not gonna lie, that's upsetting to think about.
night.
I don't know
That's
why it's
upsetting to
upsetting
think
because
about.
it's actually realistic.
Like it's
Yeah,
realistic. That like,
it's upsetting to think about. I don't want to think about that no more.
and then it's like at the end late game, you don't want to do that pick and roll. You just want to give it to him to close and let him work. It's over. He helps
Damn.
him
That
defensively.
mean that
He
mean but that mean that mean Yoke gonna stay. You don't think you don't think Yoke want to leave?
no, he ain't going
Hell
nowhere.
no.
Ain't going nowhere. Ain't going
Hell
nowhere.
no.
It's not his upbringing, his culture. His like he's not. Yeah, I be sometimes I be having to think about this. A lot of these guys, they're not American. They grew up different, built different. They got different morals, and like they ain't just like he's not a
Luke,
hopper. Like nah, that's not.
Luca was never gonna leave. Giannis not gonna leave. What he doing now, like what Giannis doing, and Cove know off the journalism tip. It's just his agent going to Shams and them trying to get the Bucks to make a move. As Giannis is staying.
No,
You
no.
think
I
you
really
think
think
Giannis
Giannis
actually
is
gonna
going.
leave?
I'll
Yeah,
keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The first time, if this was that first time he did this, I would agree. This
yeah.
time,
Nah,
this time,
he's actually out of there.
I think he ready to slide. Man.
Yeah,
I still think he like I got a chip. My kids growing
nah.
up here.
Yeah, all that's cool.
The only reason I asked if Yoke was leaving was because his coach gone. Jamal finally ain't live up to what he was supposed to do. Every year Jamal go out there and just breaks my heart to see the things Jamal Murray does on the basketball court in the playoffs. This year he finally didn't do it. This year he finally didn't do it. So I think the coach gone. Jamal didn't live up to his yearly Jamal
So what
Murray
you
playoffs run.
all like be like going crazy?
Yeah. Like Jamal Murray was
Hmm.
just he was just kind of he wasn't bad. He was just kind of regular this year, this playoff run.
I think they was just like beat up and tired to be
Tired.
honest. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they was just tired. Like because when it's your first time going through it, like you just kind of get like wore out.
yeah,
But I mean, they can
yeah.
always change the coach.
Yeah,
Adam ain't
I
gonna
think they
get
like Mike though.
Yeah, I do think they like him too. But I mean, you can go get another coach that you like.
Yeah.
Mess around, find the one that you love.
I gotta clip that KD one. I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy.
Telling you, bro. I really think that like if he's open to going to Denver, which I don't see why he wouldn't be, unless it's just some off the court something. I'm telling you, that's a chip. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that, bro. I've been thinking about that for a couple of days. I'm like, when we get back, I gotta telling you, that's a
I don't
chip.
know. All of the places he done been though. He been to Brooklyn, Golden State, Phoenix. Where does Denver fit in that?
It's not a Thunder
You think he'll really go up there?
homecoming. Homecoming.
I'm coming.
What you mean homecoming?
Thunder.
No,
I
he
talking
ain't
about
going back.
DC. No.
He ain't going.
No.
He ain't going back to OKC. That's over with. I'm gonna keep
But
it a buck. I don't even think Shea would allow that to happen because
yeah,
it mess up their team.
because he had to
It
give
mess up
something
their
up for that.
you're gonna have to give up a whole they gonna have to give up a whole
I think
lot.
yeah, them specifically had to give up a whole. Yeah.
They gonna have to give up the whole they gonna have to give up the whole pot just to bring him back, have a welcome home, and then you got all the conversation of okay, just because whose team is this?
Yeah,
So we're not doing
Yeah, they're
that.
probably not gonna do that. They
Yeah.
also looking at Melo made a good point on his pod. Like the Suns, they messed up because they rushed the process. Like Book was good, and then y'all trying to rush it. Like Y'all trying to rush it like I get the KD, but the Bill, y'all know how I feel about Bill, bro. Like, why? Just why, bro? Like,
I just really don't think you was watching Bradley Beal. Like, I
now I
think
was watching him, but that don't
that's
make
the
no
only
sense,
like
bro.
explanation for like and it's like I get it. The haul that they gave up to get Bradley Beal, I
And
don't
no trade
necessarily
clause
like,
and the
but
money that he making.
yeah, but Bradley Beal has played on a no trade clause forever.
That was
that was
already in
just
his deal.
That was
yeah,
dumb.
that
That was
was
even more dumb to even trade for him then. That was even
I
more
think
dumb.
uh
I'm not mad at the bad Brad Bill. Like to me, Book did have it going. Um, I think they could have kept the core what they had. Adding KD with the other core, yeah. But I mean, like when you got the ability to get or the chance to get somebody like Brad Bill, I don't think you necessarily say no
yeah.
at where he was at. I mean, he was coming off averaging 28 a night. Now the only problem that I had with it, which I said originally from the jump, is they all do the same thing in
Same
the same
thing. You
position.
do the same thing.
They all do the same thing in the same position. So like that was the only problem that I was like, that's gonna be kind of interesting to see how that figures out. But I mean, when you got three people that can fill it up how they do, they played it. If they play it right,
If they yeah, I don't think they ever invested enough into the point guard position to really because I think you really when you have somebody when you got three people that can really do what they do, I think you really need somebody to facilitate that the way that it's supposed to be run. Like you need a coach on the court to really I personally feel like that's just me though.
yeah, they needed like a Rondo.
Yeah, they really needed somebody that was just out there that wasn't trying to score, that wasn't trying to do too much. Like you
They
just
need
needed
some.
somebody to go out there and really like, hey, bro, it's not your turn. It's not your turn.
Yeah, I think they
It's
just
somebody
needed some.
else's
Yeah,
turn.
they needed somebody to tell them like, bro, you're not shooting this whole quarter.
Uh,
Like he hot. Like go in the corner. But you respected him enough to be like, all right.
yeah, to listen to that.
I mean, but they gave up more for KD than they did for Bill, didn't they?
They gave up Bridges,
Yeah, I'm about to say
Cam
for
Johnson.
KD,
They
they
had
gave
a
up
team. Like they rushed the
they gave up the
process.
boat. They gave up the boat for KD. But for
Yeah.
Bridges, but for Bill, I think it was just like player and a couple picks or something like that. But I mean, they probably felt like they window closed though.
I don't know if they felt like their window was closing. I don't know if they really thought. I don't I don't know, bro. And P, you can
They
probably
didn't believe in
talk to
Bill.
this
Probably.
more.
Mm.
P, you can probably talk to this more, but sometimes like sometimes I don't want to say you get there and you don't deserve to get there. That sounds insensitive to the situation. But sometimes you get there and what happens once you get there don't really look promising. Like I don't know that they really liked the way it looked once they finally got there. Like when they finally got to the playoff to the finals, I mean, like I don't know if they really liked the way it looked with Aiton and them. Like I don't know if they really like that. I think
Um,
that's what made it easier to give up to go and get. Like it's always easy to go and get KD regardless. When KD's on the market, if KD's on the market, you going to get KD. But I think you think about it more for the Bradley Beal one, if you really like the way it looked and you just say like kind of how you saying right now, like, all right, Denver, if they go get KD, I already like the way it look in Denver. I already like the way it look when they playing when they get to the finals. I'm like, if they on
you've
their
already
game
done
and
it, yeah.
yeah, like if they on their game and they get to the playoffs and they get to the finals, like you like, I don't know, bro. You just go and get KD. You can kind of plug and play however you want to. I don't know if they felt that they could just plug and play just because they went and got KD is what I'm trying to say. Like I don't know if they were already
Mhm.
like the way that it looked.
I mean, yeah, I think because I think though when you Miles, this is the part I think where they rushed is once they got KD, I think they felt like
They had to win.
instead it was they had to win, but also instead of filling the rest of that void that they gave up with quality role players, they was like, do we want to go get quality role players or just go get another star? And I think that's the tough decision that they had of just rushing to go get another star instead of building those quality role players back up around Katie and Book and saying like, let's just make it work with these two people.
Yeah, I don't blame him for The KD stuff. KD top 15 player, top third, whatever, like ever. Like I don't blame him for that. Uh, but when you got guys that's all scorers, I had a video on it because like folks was like, oh, like D Book can pass. Bro, like we got like Sixers fans talking about like Matt, bro. They score. They score first. Like that's like they inherent nature. They can. It might be a stretch in January for 3 weeks that they can go for 8 assists, but to their core,
I'm not gonna lie.
You need a Chris
If
Paul.
somebody walked up to
I
me,
thought Tyus Jones was going. I thought Tyus Jones was going to be that. It ain't panning out that way.
if somebody walked up to me and said D Book can pass, I might walk away.
Yeah, bro. It was people that's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking. I'm like, I was trying to pull up the video. I'm gonna send it to y'all after
D
this.
Book can pass. That's
There's a
crazy.
facilitator, like,
That's
come on.
that's oh my gosh, Ryan.
And it was going crazy, Atlanta Dream. But yeah, I'm about to go. Hey, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Share the friends, show the front. It's MJ, it's Kobe, it's P. Triple Threat Talk. Show some love to the channel, to the guys. We are out.